Talk about manoeuvres. What about the Cyril Rioli flip over the back to himself? How smart's that?
Oh, amazing. He's been good again.
Thomas. That's not the best of kicks, but Renouf just couldn't quite take the mark. Now Wellingham mops up. Kicks to half forward, Cloak. That's mark number 10. And he kicks to the 50 and finds Beams.
Matty, you're giving away a TV tonight, I believe.
Geez, it's hard. I've been looking at the stats, and it's been so even from the Magpies, and Hodge has been enormous for the Hawks.
Could it go to a current a losing team that gets beaten by 10+ goals?
I know, you just Luke Hodge, 33 disposals, 13 clearances, 5 tackles. He has just given his heart and soul for the Hawks tonight in such a disappointing performance, and the Pies have been very even. So
you're considering Luke Hodge?
I am considering it. Yes.
Is that a career best as far as clearances go?
You tell you what, you're trying to square up with the Hawks, are you, Lloydie?
No, I'm not. I'm just building up the tension, I suppose. Well, if there is any.
That's right.
And here's Swan for the Magpies. Wins the ball. Up to Pendlebury. Chip to ball. The handball's back to Swan. Out wide to Johnson. He breaks the Hodge tackle. Back to ball. They're racking up the stats now. Now handball over the top to Didak. And that's a nice lead from Cloak. No, didn't pay the mark. Didn't hold on to it long enough. So a miss there for the Magpies. And the Hawks clear the ball out of defensive 50. Mark taken by Whitecross.
It's a bit like commentating on training at the moment, isn't it?
It is, and you'd love to know how much time they've spent in the defensive 50 on the night, because it feels like it's been there for, just because of the Pies' pressure.
Murphy gives to Birchall, who eases the kick into Morton, a bit of a spill. And the Pies quick to clamp down, as they have been all night. The tackle count 73 to 40, and Presti did the work that time. To ball, look at them all run forward now. They can sniff an opportunity. Didak to Thomas, just loops it over the top. Oliver completely oblivious to what was coming, and there was plenty coming.
Well, it was a hospital pass, and he's apologising, young Thomas.
Yeah, look at the stats, Anthony. As you said, tackles 73 to 42, inside 50, 66 to 31.
Phenomenal.
Collingwood have had 37 scoring shots to 17. They really should have smashed them by close to 100 points.
That's a good point. Wellingham, Pendlebury leaves it behind. Danger hasn't quite passed yet for the Hawks. Might now, though, because they've got a bit of a break, and it's Schoenmakers who kicks to the middle of the ground.
Rioli leads the race for the ball and keeps it alive. Still keeps it alive. Now it spills to Johnson. And the Magpies here on the rebound. Driving mark taken by Cloak. Squares it up to Ball. Not a great handball from Luke Ball. He messed that one up. Didak cleans up though. To O'Brien, back to Didak. And a good kick, good vision. And the mark has been taken by McCaffer. He should go back and have a shot.
Only the 13 disposals for McCaffer, but the 5 marks, and he's leapt at the ball pretty well tonight. And
Brent McCaffer just playing his 7th match for the Magpies. He's kicked 4 goals. This for a bit of icing on the Collingwood cake. They're in front by 65. And it's home.
Alistair Clarkson has had to endure a bit tonight in the box. Margin 71 now. Lewis, again, the Pies.
Impressive, the Pies, in that they've had this game under control virtually from the first quarter, and here we are in the dying minutes. They're going just as hard. It's a really good sign.
Big week Mick Moldhouse has had, of course. Bit of blood.
Not for the first time in his career, Anthony.
I was going to say, it used to be the exception when he didn't come off with the blood rule, didn't it, Luke Ball? Replaced by Dale Thomas.
Not happy either.
In fact, it's Wellington that comes on. Ball, 4 kicks, 10 handballs for the night, 4 clearances, 5 tackles. Bateman over the top. Hodge still doing his best. Wellingham. Swan. Sneaks the handball through to Brown. To Pendlebury. He's started to get the ball a lot in this second half, but hasn't had his most effective night. Scott Pendlebury. Back into the middle of the ground. Roughhead. Feeding Morton. Oh, just over the top of Bateman. Still might get through. No. Swan. Across to McCaffer. Plenty of Pies cutting through the middle. The crowd was the best warning there. Brown for Pendlebury. Back to Wellingham. Misfire on the kick inside 50. And the mark taken by Gillen.
Little short one by Gillen to Hodge. And now handballs to Murphy. Murphy to Osborne. That Andy Marr, what's the report on Xavier Ellis and Sam Mitchell, Andy?
It looks a whole lot better now, quarters, than it might have looked about 15 minutes ago for Ellis. He's sitting there looking pretty fresh. Mitchell, I reckon it's all about management. I don't think there's anything really to worry about with that hamstring. I reckon it's all about making sure that he's ready to go for next week.
Is there ever a hamstring that you don't worry about? No?
It's a good question.
Often they say that on match day, don't they, that it's a mine or something, but they end up missing a week or two.
Is it being iced, Andy?
No, it's not. That's the point, Lordy.
Well,
so, yeah, I think that's a good sign.
So, Brendan Whitecross. About 45 out, kicks across the face. And just sneaked home for a behind. In the end, it's Collingwood by 70 points.
They're obviously in a position now, quarters, where they just can't afford to take any risks with any more key players. They've got that many key players sidelined at the moment that they just need to make sure that they manage their best 24, 25, 26 players as well as they can from this point forward.
That's the side, isn't it? Cyril Rioli on the bench, just absolutely shattered with his team's performance tonight.
Kick poked in to Johnson, who just gets away. Dane Swan powers on. Another 30-plus game for him. 34th disposal sets Wellingham away. And the Pies are inside 50. And Leon had loved one more, but he might have just given away the free there.
Dane Swan, 34 disposals. Most for any Collingwood player. And yet he's had a different role tonight. He spent most of the time in the defensive half.
Nice clean kicking for the Hawks. Osborne gets it, and now Brown can send them forward.
And he's got loose men everywhere across half forward. One of them is Moss. He's got Bateman on over the top. And takes a good mark inside 50. Morton runs on, receives the handball, can go all the way and kick his second. And he does. So 2 goals to Morton, and that is the game. And the Magpies have won by 64 points. A percentage booster in the end. So a big win by the Magpies by 64 points. Let's go down to Andy Marr.
Thanks, quarters. You owed those blokes one of those, didn't you? They've been a hard side for you guys to beat.
They have. I think they've won the last